Hello all. Now I'm just waiting for my coffee machine to heat up, and I'm wondering because I consider myself quite a connoisseur of DMT, this space, everything nice, like blast you straight into hyperspace, and entities going look at this, like love the novelty of that. But I haven't done very much over the last month or so because I had toxoplasmosis, so it was just really rough on my lungs. And then I did some changa experiences. One was kind of cool, the others were kind of underwhelming. But I did it again several times today, just a little while ago. And I found that I was having like the same experiences again and again. It took me a few tries because I haven't done it for a while to get the one-hit method perfect. But when I did, boy, did I get it full on tunnel, and then entity, but I keep encountering the same kind of entity, and it's hard to describe. It's like hiding behind a shell or something. There's this big thing like that, and then there's kind of lines across it. And whenever I'll try to think something, it'll just go shut up and listen. Stop thinking for a second. It'll just kind of blast me with what looks like this web, and I can kind of feel it, like it feels like someone gently putting their hand on my face, but it's just this feeling of stop it, just stop it, stop talking, just listen, take it in. I think there's definitely value to that lesson because, oftentimes because of my social anxiety, will talk too much and listen too little. But I've had that experience back to back. And it's just okay, I get it already. And also, I did have one experience where today where I came into touch with the what I deem the most benevolent entities that I've interacted with more than any others, and they're these big, they feel like Native American spirits or something, and they look like owls and crows with red and black feathers, and I saw them, they showed up, and I could feel their feathers caressing me, and it was really nice. But it just the time or your suspension of the perception of time is it's something greatly affected by DMT, but for me now it tends to go faster than slower. It used to be oh, this feels like it's lasting an eternity. Now it's it's over in a minute, and then it's oh, look at that, that 15-minute song I was listening to, over. And this was one of those experiences where I felt I just kind of sang my way through, and it's over now. So yeah, no, it begs the question, have I overdone it? Have I got everything I could from it? I mean, I've probably done it more than most people have. I certainly, I over the last month been more conservative with my psychedelic use. I try to, conserve them for novel experiences, I try to, sorry, I should rephrase that, syntax. I try to reserve them for, scenarios that seem fitting and that seem like they would benefit from a trip, and that way I can keep the novelty of the experience intact and still, get something unique out of it instead of it all blending together like what I'm describing to you right now. And I think that's true with just about any psychedelic. So, I'm pretty sure I'm just answering my own question here, but it's weird. I mean, has anyone else had this happen where it's just like you're getting the same thing over and over again from DMT? I've had this happen before when I had the trip that showed me holy crap, just so much. It was like my mind was like melting. Like I was just seeing like hundreds of thousands of entities like rapidly being born, living, having families, dying, being reborn, living, dying, blah, 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 over and over and over again, to the point where I felt like I had seen like 150,000 lives in like 10 minutes, and that felt like an eternity. But it was like, so this is like a glimpse of what infinity is like. This is really cool. Thanks for showing me that. But then the next few trips were like, the entities I encountered were almost like, when I asked them, hey, my mammalian brain can only take so much, so please don't fucking try to overwhelm me too much here. I got quite a bit last time. They'll be like, oh, so they showed you the most. Well, I bet I can do better than that. And then they'll be like, I'm like, no, slow the fuck down. So yeah, I'd say probably what merits breaking. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the high intensity but short-lived duration of DMT because as I said, I like psychedelics, but I don't do super high doses of them. My next planned trip is, a gram and a half of penis envy mushrooms, which may sound like nothing to some people, but to me, that's enough where I'm gonna be like swimming in a cosmic orgy. Back in the day, I used to take way more and would scoff at that, be like, why would you even bother taking such a low dose? But now, especially because I have techniques for enhancing the visuals, and not just by smoking weed, but various tricks with my hands and my thoughts. I don't necessarily need a heroic dose every time I trip. I actually haven't had a heroic dose in quite a while. I've had some very strong trips. I had a 2CB trip where I think I accidentally took the equivalent to about 60 milligrams oral and could barely see, but since it was 2CB, I was still fairly clear-headed. And since it was also 2CB, it didn't leave me with the introspection of, say, a 5-gram mushroom trip or whatever. I at some point in my life want to experience ayahuasca via pharmawaska, as that way it would just be less rough on my stomach and more tolerable. Plus, I have all the fixins I need to make it. And I would like to do one more heroic dose in my life at some point, but I just don't feel the need to do that right now. And I think there is definitely merit in preserving novelty. And novelty is not something that can occur when you have, an experience in spades, or at least, you're gathering a stimuli from the same source over and over and over again, get days and days and days in a row. And this is probably why ketamine has become boring for me, because it's, I've seen the weirdest of it, I've seen the craziest of it, and it just doesn't strike me as that bizarre anymore, oddly enough. I mean, I can get taken off guard when I anesthetize myself and have crazy ego death, but I come out of it and I'm like, oh, that was weird, but that wasn't the weirdest one. But yeah, I guess the lesson here, boys and girls, is, you know, cherish these experiences, and don't exercise gratuity when it's not needed, because it's not with these experiences. You get more when you take what you can from less and stretch it out, if you know what I mean. You know, like, say, for example, like, if you were to take one trip of like 200 micrograms of acid and integrate that over the span of a week, and, you know, keep looking back on it over the rest of your life, that's going to be worth more than, you know, doing, say, 400 micrograms of acid twice a week for the rest of your life. I think, anyways. I mean, you feel free to say I'm wrong there, but I mean, also, you know, operating speeds may vary, you know. Every person varies, like, everyone's different, you know. I mean, DMT was fun for me to do every day for a long time, and, you know, I had different experiences every single time I did it. I had, you know, thematically similar stuff, but experience-wise, completely different. But now I feel like I'm just getting the same repetitious experience. So yeah, I think, you know, I may hang up my saddle for a while on that. Not because I'm, like, you know, fucking scared away from it. No, the last few ones were intense, but, like, I still was like, that was fucking cool. That's cool, but, like, I'm looking for new experiences here. And something that you know, has like new experiences you can mold to have relevancy to your current situation, I find. But if you're experiencing sort of what you've experienced before now, that substance, not the compound itself, but the substance within the experience, I think, is lessened. So yeah, you know, I think these are something that should be approached a rather reasonable but persnickety nature, and to preserve the gifts that are integral to these experiences, you know, based on how you choose to use them. Anyways, on that note, keep it real. Catch you later.